I'm just really excited.
You're very excited
fighting
about
that. Yeah. Stephen A. says a lot of the Game 7 pressure is going to fall on Russell Westbrook, who's part of the reason the Rockets traded Chris Paul. We will get into what should be a feisty Game 7 and match maybe the tempers that were flaring in New York. As I was mentioning, the Yankees had lost 6 straight to their division rival Rays coming into last night's game. Needless to say, tempers flaring first, nobody on. Masahiro Tanaka hits Joey Wendell in the back, and Mr. Wendell's not happy, and neither was Kevin Cash. They both thought that was intentional, but also maybe a sign of things to come, because we go all the way to the 9th inning. The Yankees are up 5-3. Aroldis Chapman in a save opportunity fires a 101-mile-per-hour fastball at the head of Michael Brosseau. So it's now a 2-2 count. And Chapman is going to end up getting him swinging. But there would be some words exchanged after the at-bat, and then the benches would clear. Now, they all recognize the social distancing protocol, so nobody actually scrapped it up. But afterwards, Rays manager Kevin Cash, not happy, and had this to say.
It was mishandled by the Yankees. Certainly the pitcher on the mound. It was mishandled by the umpires. Enough's enough. We were talking about a 100-mile-an-hour fastball over a young man's head. It makes no sense. Poor judgment, poor coaching. It's just poor teaching what they're doing and what they're allowing to do. The chirping from the dugout. Somebody's got to be accountable. And the last thing I'll say on it is I got a whole damn stable full of guys that throw 98 miles an hour, period.
Ooh, is that a threat?
Let's roll.
DJ LeMahieu said, if that's the threat, we're ready, because they will be facing each other again tonight in the Bronx.
Them rules are written.
You know it.
Alvin Kamara is returning to Saints practice today. The two sides will continue working toward a long-term contract extension, that according to our Jeremy Fowler. According to the source, the sides are not that far apart on a deal. And Kamara is not looking to match Christian McCaffrey's $16 million a year payday. Now joined by some NFL tough guys, Ryan Clark and Dan Orlovsky. Ryan, I want to start with you. How much do you believe Kamara is worth to this Saints organization?
I believe Alvin Kamara is worth a lot. I think what he's done for this team, what he shows you in his versatility and the way that Sean Payton and Drew Brees can use him offensively is huge. But I don't think he's worth Christian McCaffrey money. I don't think he's worth Ezekiel Elliott money. You're looking at a guy who's never had 200 carries in 1 year, who's truly never been the bell cow of a successful running game. And so when you look at him that way, I think that diminishes his worth as far as it's compared to those guys a little bit, but he should be one of the highest paid rushers and running backs in this league. I think what he can do is also unique in a way for the New Orleans Saints, so he should get paid. He deserves to be extended, but it has to be at a price that makes sense for the New Orleans Saints as well.
Yeah, RC, I was totally with everything you were saying until you said one of the highest paid backs in the league. But you bring up both points of kind of the situation. He is an integral part of their offense. He's not the focal point of their offense. Now, when we talk about Derrick Henry getting paid, or Dalvin Cook potentially getting paid, or McCaffrey getting paid, those guys are the focal point. Kamara is just a piece. That being said, the Saints cannot win the Super Bowl without Alvin Kamara. He is too important to their offense when it comes to the pass-catching back out of the backfield. If you think of Pierre Thomas, Reggie Bush, Darren Sproles, Mark Ingram, they were all important pieces of that offense in the pass game. Without Kamara, they lose that. That's a huge deal to this offense. So they can't win the Super Bowl without him. They shouldn't give him big money, and that's why they're on a really bad pace, because at the end of the day, they will have to pay Alvin Kamara. This is a Super Bowl winning football team this year, or contending-wise this year with him, and they aren't without.
And you guys know as well as anybody, for running backs, you've got to get that one big contract after your rookie deal, because your lifeblood in the NFL is not long. We saw that with Joe Mixon and his extension with the Bengals this week. Leonard Fournette was released by the Jaguars. Pretty shocking to everybody. And Dan, I'm going to start with you this time. What do you believe the future holds for the 25-year-old Fournette?
This is kind of a brainer to me. We know Fournette right now is cheap. He is going to be an inexpensive purchase this year, or a player this year. Mainly every team in the NFL should be interested in bringing in Leonard Fournette. He was better than a lot of people think last year. He's not the home run threat that some backs are, but he's going to get you 4 yards a carry or so. At $2 million, if I'm a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, I want to go, hey, Miles Sanders is banged up. Last year we had a ton of injuries. Let me bring you in. I'm going to get a back that I can rely on to be a physical, pounded north and south back for $2 million. And if I'm Leonard Fournette, I sit there and go, okay, this is a chance for me to go kind of reinvent myself, prove myself, take less money than I had anticipated, and show that I wasn't the problem. Jacksonville was. And so for me, there should be a ton of teams calling Leonard Fournette going, what's your situation? Where's your health? And how much money do you?
Listen, speaking of calls, right now the Jacksonville Jaguars, David Caldwell and Doug Marrone should be calling Dan Orlovsky to go compete for the starting quarterback job in Jacksonville. He probably should have been competing with Blake Bortles as well. These are some of the names with Gardner Minshew who Leonard Fournette has played with. Do you think they were stacking the box in Jacksonville? Absolutely. He was a guy that was able to be successful there. And the one thing I disagree with, Dan, is the home run hitting ability. If you've ever watched Leonard Fournette catch a crease, whether it was at LSU or in Jacksonville, he's a home run threat. Go back to the combine of Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, and Leonard Fournette. All of those guys ran around the same 40 time, but Leonard Fournette was over 240 pounds. And so if he can get in the right place, a place that's going to utilize him, I think he can show you again that he can be successful. Over 1,100 yards last year, 80 touches in the pass game. I thought that was huge for him to prove. Now he's going to be inexpensive. Hopefully he gets to go to a contender, and he's ready to play. I watched him train throughout the offseason, whether it was here, in Dallas, or in Sarasota. And so it'll be interesting to see what team picks him up and the way that he's utilized this year as a piece of their offense.
The guy had nearly 1,700 yards from scrimmage last year. He was good, and someone's going to get a steal with just 8 days away from kickoff.